Sentient beings, boundless in the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest infinitely free from attachment and delusion.
Page 20 or 19.
Yo mono bala yo bandro zodo zeno ba deda deda me ba zodo kayo me ba zodo kayo me ba anorado me ba sarva zede me braya sarva goma zoda me zoda shya guru Bhagavan Manjim Bhavama Samaya Sadho Sado Samaya Manu Bhavaya Manjo Sado Dino Dido Me Bhava Sado Kaya Me Bhava Sado Kaya Me Bhava Anurada Me Bhava Sarva Siddha Me Praya Sarva Kama Sutra Me Siddha Shriya Guru Bhagavan Sarvadata Manda Mame Munda Manda Bhavama Samaya Sadho Sanje Shinla Mede Bhuaya Drogananda Shindu Juvarasho Chadewa Chuji Shabada Jezo Yera Kushan Gawa Jumjata Tamja Zobe Chanju Chino Umoguru
We're gonna sing in Chinese, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna represent the variety.
生日快乐，祝
祝你生日快乐。
Careful, eh?
Yeah.
Just Okay, happy birthday, His Holiness, long life. Thank you. Now you can cut the cake and give everyone. Even maybe a few short mantra for long life, longevity, 3 deities. Amidayu, Ushinisha, White Dara. So we may Sangha Benzun the Changso the Nin. Masa Omar the Vindayu so Omar
Zondaye so,
Omar the Vindayu so Omar the Vindaye so Rananda Vindaye so Omar the Vindaye so Omar the Vindaye so
Omo Amoranem Zondaye
so
so,
Omar the Vindaye so Jum so
Jum so,
Jum so
Amrita Ayuda so,
Jum so Amrita Ayuda so
Jum so,
Amrita Ayuda so Jum so 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 Amrita Ayuda so Amrita Ayuda so Jum so Amrita Ayuda so Tare tu dare
Turi Mama Ayujana Punya Pusu Guru so,
Dare tu dare tore mama Ayuda Punya Punya Guru Yeso
Dare tu Dare Dore Mama Ayujana Punya
Punya
Pusu
Punya Guru Yeso Kewa
Di
di
Nyudo
Nyudo
Da
da Chala Namsun Dojo Jowa Chikya Malu
De Sala Ngu Barai Sho.
Ola
Hatakarwe. Yeah. Chunine Jula Majiba Tanya Sigation and a Tutanga Belubala Union Dagos Jampu. Angry the Jenya Gazina Zonga Lamarjeta Cantaci Juno, the Jelomorgiva to the Dutta Basi, the Samba, Double comes in Dirishi. Taso some Jadam was in yellow, Jelam don't know what in yellow, Trouble issues of Chawara change, I love those. Good morning, everybody. Okay, today we have this precious day. First, please take a deep breath. Inhale fully and relax your body. And exhale. Once more, please inhale all the blessings of the Buddha into you and heal your body and mind. And exhale all the stress. Once more, please inhale fully and exhale. As mentioned, so this is such. We don't have this kind of opportunity in our daily life, only occasionally, sometimes, to reflect on the Buddha's wisdom, compassion, which is so precious. Most people have no time, and also not so much interest on these things. But those who could make this.
This is the highest one.
This doesn't have any noise. Can you hear? You can hear. Everybody can hear? Not so clearly.
Not from the microphone.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. So, yeah.
We can hear, but not like yesterday.
Yeah, so we have to make. Can we open this sound system? Okay. How now? How is doing? It's okay, better?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm saying is reflecting to Buddha's teaching is not just a religion. We just like some kind of religious ceremony doing. It is something related to our mind, especially the mind, how to release the cause of the suffering and how to open up the door for peace and happiness. It is based on the wisdom and compassion. And you see, in our whole life, we always project outside for our life for happiness. If I get this, I'll be happy. If I could do this, I'll be happy. If I could do this, my suffering will be less. If I can make happy that person, I'm happy. If that person is not happy, I'm not happy. We all just project outside for our peace and happiness. We never do this for inside the mind. If I could make my mind, shape my mind, if I could constitute my mind in the right way, so I'll be happy. I'll be free from suffering. That kind of is very rare, little opportunity. As mentioned, those who came yesterday, the mind is such a profound, such a complex subject. We cannot see it, we cannot touch it, so we forget it. Even as I mentioned yesterday, great scientists who are very interested about the mind, they all just analyze in the piece of brain, put in the machine, lot of wires, all over the head, put all the wire. Then they investigate, what about this, what about that? Without wire, you cannot understand. Without wire, you cannot investigate. You cannot understand. That shows So the peace of brain is the mind. They can go beyond that. But mind is a little more than that, you see. So that's what I mentioned. The Siddhartha, he went for the 6 years training of the mind. Totally, so achieved a very high samadhi, such a high samadhi. Still, he could not satisfy about that achievement. So he went farther, as measured through the 3 training, above the samadhi. Then he used the special insight, looking, taking, not just investigation, but directly seeing through this such great, it's called special insight. And then he thoroughly, perfectly could capture that mind. So his own mind, once he realized his own mind totally, perfectly, then he could see all minds of the sentient beings. See, same as as we know, as I mentioned yesterday, we all know everybody wants to be happy. There's no one who doesn't appreciate happiness, physically, mentally. So even if we don't have this special insight, we can have that kind of understanding. And we all know that everybody is desired to free from suffering. See, that regarding to that kind of state, we don't have to ask any questions. But then how to achieve peace and happiness? How to free from suffering? That is the complex subject. That it requires all the great wisdom. First they are called true wisdom. Wisdom knowing as it is. That's emptiness, you see. Everything, the nature is emptiness. Like if you say bamboo, if you get a bamboo which is hollow, if you know one bamboo is hollow, then all the bamboos that stacked up, you don't have to go each, all are empty. So if you know one thing is emptiness, empty, the nature is emptiness, then you know everything is emptiness. If I realize myself that emptiness, then I know everything, all that existence, human beings, non-human beings, whole world, the nature is emptiness. That's called knowing as it is. Now within that emptiness, all the manifestations, without separation from the emptiness, is very complex. Knowing everything is called. So Buddha who got that kind of wisdom, from within the emptiness and all the causalities, functions. You see this bell, it makes sound, we just now say it makes sound, so the sound vibrates. But if you, as I mentioned, when you look at it as it is, the bell itself, the holder of the bell, the hand, emptiness is empty. If you investigate through the quantum physics theory, from science point of view, quantum physics theory, you can understand this is nothing but empty. But then within that emptiness, you see, it makes sound. No separation from the emptiness, you see. Now how it is made, you see. All the dust particles. Just holding the bell doesn't make sound. And without this stop, it cannot make sound. Just if you just put the bell here, it doesn't make sound. And also without this, what do you call this? Doesn't make sound. So all the combinations, look at this, Every dust particle that is here is needed to make the sound. Without one, cannot function the sound. Now when I ring the bell, you can hear the sound. Where is the sound? No. Is this only sound? Or this is the sound? You can hear in your ears between this sound. If you carefully investigate, it's so what you call just manifestation. It's just an echo. Look at this. It's just what we call illusory nature. This is just example. All the rest are function like that, or self. Very carefully look at it. That's called, the nature itself is called unborn. But that very unborn emptiness is manifesting all the causes and conditions. So to realize this, as mentioned, we need these three training: Shila, morality, and Samadhi, special insight. Is also interdependent. So one is enough. All need to be synchronized, come together, and then it manifests something. That's what's called interdependent. When you know interdependent, then you know Buddha. Okay. Here, Nagarjuna said once, if I read this, said, within the treasury of Buddha's words of speech, teaching, there is none so precious, so profound as this, and those who see that things interdependently arise, do see the Buddha. So those who see, understand the interdependent, as I just mentioned. When you see the interdependent of all these things, then you see the Buddha. You understand the Buddha. What that means, you see, what that means is then by understanding that it totally, what you call, obliterate, you know?
Obliterate.
Yeah, what's that?
Destroy.
Oh?
Wipe it out.
Obliterate means totally taken care of. Okay. Uproot all the delusions. Okay. Obliterate all the delusion through this understanding of the interdependence. Then you will realize there's no such called self-egos exist. When the self, the ego is not exist, when you see that directly, then you see there's nothing to attach to. When there's nothing to attach to, then it's just the aversion, hatred has no place. So that you see the Buddha's teaching is so precious. Now, as yesterday I mentioned, this teaching Buddha taught over 2,600 years ago, still totally fresh. Nothing need to be changed. Nothing need to be changed. We just need a nerve, wisdom, courage to capture that wisdom. When we have that kind of wisdom, then you see all our delusions are just, it's not exist. It's not exist initially. That's what's called delusion. When deluded, not seeing the reality nature as it is. So just meditate. So from this point of view, we just ask if the Buddha's teaching is relevant or not. So when Buddha realized that, then Buddha sees all the sentient beings, how deluded they are. From the delusion, the suffering is so immense. The relentless suffering, it just comes one after another because the delusion continues. See, this kind of things, realization, we have to make effort individually. Buddha can explain these teachings, can teach us, but if we don't make effort to understand, put into practice what Buddha can do. So just we need to make effort on this, realize this. Not just some rituals, as mentioned, some saying prayers. Of course, also good too. No, I'm not saying they're not good. Okay, what I'm saying is it's not enough. So Buddha, please give me blessings so that I may free from suffering. I may free from samsara. You just pray and pray. What Buddha can do? Buddha says, sit down and I'll teach you. Practice this. Make sense?
Yes.
These are very important points. You just know, just the essence of the teachings. It's called interdependent, or dependently rising. Then you have such a great wisdom, which means you know all the causality, causes and conditions. What's the cause for the suffering? What's the cause for the peace and happiness? It's not just enough being as just a nice person. It's good to be nice, but real to free from entire samsara, entire cause of suffering. We need this kind of wisdom. And then we meditate on this, practice this. So that's why all the suffering that we're going through, globally, whole universe, every sentient beings, first based on these three portions, as yesterday mentioned, the three portions, Before we used to say, as this is Vajrayana teaching, this is Tibetan Buddhism. Now we need a Western Buddhism, and a lot of talking about something culturally related, But this has nothing to do with the culture. It's within the dimension of the wisdom, how everything functions, and the causality within the space of the emptiness. That's wisdom, and then compassion. So it's yesterday when we went through the Bodhisattva's vow ceremony, as we need to, as mentioned, recognize your precious human life. And then we went step by step, taking refuge and purification of our obscurations, accumulating merits, wisdom, practicing of the four immeasurables, especially love and compassion. And then finally, we did the Bodhisattva's vow ceremony. So these are, all the steps are very important. We need those, So also reflecting on the impermanence. Look at here, page 1, if you have this impermanence. It's just we have one verse. The nature of all phenomena is impermanence. That is a certainty for all those who are born. That can descend any time like a dew drop on a blade of grass. Quick, it is time to make effort for the essence of the Dharma. So here that's like threatening. It's not a threatening, So impermanence, you'll die and all this. It's not that kind of threatening. Reminding, yes, I will die one day. Even those who don't practice Dharma, they know they will die one day, because there's no one who's living who's not died. Those who are born and then have not died. There's no one in the world. Anywhere you go, you see. So that's the reality nature. Those who don't believe anything, they know that they will also die one day, So this is reminding us. Now, everybody's afraid with the death. Nobody would like to die, unless you're so, depressed. Your mind is overwhelmed by the suffering of this life individually. Then you think, I better die, Then somebody say, I die with the dignity. There's nothing to dignity, for that. But it's our ego attachment, There's no solution. So I said, they die. It's unfortunate, So you see, remind, since we have this wisdom, such profound wisdom, the Buddha's teaching, as I mentioned yesterday, has a complete method to uproot all the delusions. There's no any delusion or cause of suffering exist that which cannot be taken care of. If we have the nerve, energy, wisdom, see. So we should look at that preciousness of the Buddha's teaching, the wisdom, compassion. Then look at the impermanence. Everything's changing, as yesterday mentioned, We're here, we came here, the past is just past, now we'll never come back. We came into the door, we just sat to here, and just a few minutes or half an hour passed, it's gone. Future has not come here yet, and this moment is so momentary, transitory nature, you see, changing. Everything is just a flash. Everything is just so instant, Look at that. And so when we have the precious human life, when we have this precious Buddha's teaching, we cannot waste it. We cannot ignore it. Look at this preciousness. No? Milarepa said once, he said, I escaped the mountain by the fear of the dead. See? And while I'm in the mountain, I persistently contemplate on the Dharma practice without wasting even 1 second. Now I capture the unchanging nature of the death, or unchanging nature of the Dharma as it is. I'm free from fear of the death. See. Milarepa can do whatever he can, business, whatever he do. All this he can do, but he saw that Dharma is the only solution of all the suffering that we have in the world. So that's why he dedicated himself 100% to Dharma without any negotiation. Just went. That's where he made the history. Over 1,000 years passed, still his teachings are so fresh. His songs, teachings, look at how fresh they are, how touching everybody is reading Milarepa's songs, chanting his melodies, the teachings, because it touches the heart. So what I'm saying is this: we have to take care of these 3 portions. The 3 portions are the only that give us nothing but only suffering. Look at your own mind. When our mind is occupied by the anger, jealousy, arrogance, our mind becomes so narrow, very sensitive, very fragile. We suffer from this. See, it's within us, it's not outside. So since it is within us, individually we have the responsibility. But without realizing that, we blame outside. I'm suffering because of you. I'm suffering because of that. But if we took care of this within, that what these 3 portions, then everything is just perfect. Relax. That's why in the Bodhichitta Avatar mentioned, when you read the description of the hell realm, the burning metal ground, fire consumes the beings there. So who purposely created those? There's no inner outsiders that he had created that. We individually created by ourselves. That's said, Chantideva mentioned the Buddha taught this teaching. All the fires, the anger, hatred, that create the fire inside the mind. Then it's just, look at in our life also, in just our own life, look at that, as mentioned, with the anger, rage, and you have no fear to kill others, to destroy others, because the anger pushes you to do that. That creates this hell realm. And when sometimes attachment rises in the mind, so our attachment gives you no space. You just want, it creates a Holy Ghost. Sometimes when your mind is totally controlled by the ignorance, when you do meditation, chanting mantra, meditation, you feel, what I'm doing here? I don't see any reason why I'm wasting my time here. I better go outside and enjoy my life. Why I'm making miserable myself here? It doesn't make sense because our mind is occupied by the ignorance. Look at this, you see. When these mental afflictions are minimized, you feel better, more space. You can smile, and then you can see others are suffering. There's a space to develop compassion, loving kindness, you see. So that there's a mind is such a kind of foundation. Mind is the foundation of the samsara. Mind is the foundation of the nirvana. When that mind is confused, we have no wisdom to see it, is the basis of the samsara. When that mind is now open to space and you see the awareness, wisdom, compassion, and that is nirvana. Look at that, This all, as yesterday mentioned, the product of the mind, directly or indirectly. See, 50 years ago, we don't have so much problem with the global warming, isn't it? People don't talk so much about this 50, 60 years ago. But now, last for a few decades, so global warming. Who created this global warming? You see, we are the responsible. There's no one outside to blame. Through the science and technology, all this invention, discovering all these things, and you see, look at all the factories, manufacturing so many things. And then you see these everywhere, all over the world, you just go, In the West, like in North America, then in the US, in Canada, then go to South America, all this. And then you go to Africa, Asia, Europe, everywhere, every year, more cars, buses, or aeroplanes, you see. How many aeroplanes there are now? They all contribute the heat, the fire from the four elements. We are creating more fire. That's global warming, See, and they become stronger. The fire is strong. Then the fire and the cold temperature, they fight, and then this clashes, storms, all this manifests. This what I'm saying is. It's all the product of the mind. So when we practice the loving kindness, compassion, look at this, when your mind is totally occupied by the loving kindness. In that state of your mind, no discrimination. I like this, I don't like this. Not such kind of thing there. So everybody desire for peace and happiness. And I wish everyone has this kind of peace and happiness. Even those individuals who hate you. Physically, I cannot help that individual. But in my mind, I can meditate. I wish that person have all the peace and happiness that what everybody desire for. When we have that kind of mind, look at this mind. Now you see, you have total peace and happiness, you see. Then there's no fear, you see. There's no ghost, there's no demons, you see. So relax in that. And from that, you see, as I mentioned, how everything's interdependent, interconnected. Shantidawa mentioned in his text, Bodhichitta Avatara, investigate your body, you know. We see as I, you know, oh, this is me, some solid, you know. Yeah, nah. Yeah. Sure. That's it. He said, investigate from your skin, first at the skin. What is here? Then what is underneath the skin? Oh, I have here. Thank you. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Look at underneath the skin. Underneath skin, flesh, nerve system, and ligament, blood. Underneath that, bones. What inside the bone? Bone marrow. Very carefully investigate. You yourself, he said. Then you see what's the essence there. Is there any essence that I attach to this? There's nothing essence to attach to. So you are free from suffering. Sometimes when you talk about no attachment means don't care, you know. If you release the attachment, that's the best care to ourselves. Care means free from suffering, isn't it? Care means have more peace and happiness. So when we do this practice, then you have all the peace and happiness. So when your mind is imbued with this love and compassion, you're beautiful. Everybody respects you. There's a peace, a genuine peace. Not something, sometimes you respect because you have to respect. If I don't respect, then people think you're a bad person, you know. You're a bad person. There's some pressure there in the society, you know. If you don't respect, if you don't do this, people then say, there's a pressure on this. That's not peace. That's not happiness. Peace, happiness comes free from mind. Seeing everyone as equal. That's real, free, which is called real free, no boundary. So that's how we first study, practicing about the impermanence. Is about that. This is the essence, the practice. If I do the direct path to free from all the suffering, this is the path that gives me all the peace and happiness. So then practice of loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta to all the sentient beings, you see. We dissolve the ignorance of the ego. The selfish ego is destroyed. Placed by the noble ego, so I will help all the sentient beings. So the Buddha and great Bodhisattvas have that ego. It's called noble ego. Natural wisdom. compassion. Our samsaric ego is selfish ego, very narrow, occupied by all these delusions. So that's how to reflect on the impermanence. And as yesterday mentioned, if you read Jewel Ornament of Liberation in that book, in the section of the impermanence, very beautifully described as gross impermanent. Say, the world would be changed by year, changed by month, changed by week, change every day. And very subtle changing. Just look at the stream of the water. When you look at the stream of the river, I may say, I saw this river last year. I may say, I saw this river this morning, but that I saw it last year, this morning is gone. I know I'm seeing it's different. Every second, every moment is different. But my mind is so gross, cannot capture the subtlety of that impermanence. Everything's changing that moment. So great Bodhisattva has that kind of awareness. They can see that because it has such great shamatha, samadhi. When your mind is totally stabilized in the samadhi, then you have such a clarity in the mind. We just take care of all those mental delusions. There from that wisdom within that, then all the called obscurations of the karma, obscurations of the mental affliction, and obscuration to the knowledge, all those obscurations will be purified. That's how we can free from samsara, how we free from the suffering. So that's why if you read great masters, they spend their life in the mountain, in meditation. See, there look at the suffering we have touched yesterday briefly. Here, first is a karma cause. The fruit of one's positive karma is happiness. Suffering is the fruit of negative karma. The inexorable karmic causation is the mode of abiding dharmas. Henceforth, practice distinguishing between what should be practiced and what should be given up. So inexorable karmic causation means infallible, never fail. As I think yesterday mentioned, in the past we used to say Buddhists believe karma. Karma is something belief system. If you believe there's a karma, if you don't believe there's no karma, then I argue this. In that case, we don't believe karma. Why we should believe? It's just bothering. Since that's not the case, causality, whatever we do, any action we put, good or bad, that becomes a cause. That a cause to manifest suffering or happiness. So that's why we need such kind of awareness, what I'm doing. I'm doing right things or not. As I mentioned, nobody can destroy me, but except by myself. I suffer so much because I have created that situation. Just for example, drinking alcohol, then you become what we call such a drinker, and then I don't know day or night. Just a drink. So who created that? I did it. Your friend says, don't drink so much. It's not good for your mind. It's not good for your health. But I cannot live without that. That I drink, then I destroy myself. To whom to blame now? Instead, I drink good tea, some juice, relax, eat some nice food, enjoy that, make your mind fresh. You created that, see. So we should all, Dhamma practice means we take responsibility ourselves, make a better human being. That's the Dharma, the Buddha's wisdom, compassion, But it requires a lot of destination, requires a lot of wisdom and nerves, courage. So I can do it. It requires diligence. If we have those things, I can make my life such a wonderful life. Peace. I don't need so many things to enjoy your life. Actually, more simplify your life. It's much easier to handle. You can more relax. So karma is the causality. Everything is dependent on the causes, condition. That's why, as like a business people, the soul nowadays, 21st century, the business is not enough in your town, not enough in the country. You have to internationally, you have to do the business. So all the business people come together, they discuss how to do the business, how to effective way, how to do this. They talk about the cause to become successful in the business, you see. When there's not good cause, your business collapse, So that's what they're making so many things, rules, everything, making rules. After some time, it collapses, Like what you call the market? What? Market going up and down, what? Stock market, You see, it's business. Why it going up? Why? Who made it? Sometimes it looks like by coming itself, or today's stock market is up, or tomorrow the stock market is down. There's something, somebody is making that, but people are working in that, they are making that. They are making the decisions. It makes so complicated, you see, but this all are causes and conditions. Like this, our 5 skandha, the 5 aggregates of this body is very complex, very complicated. The form, the feeling, the perception, the formation, the consciousness, this all is such a great stock market, So the karma cause, just glimpse, And suffering, yesterday we went in more detail about this. Suffering of samsara. In the 3 lower realms, hell realm, Holy Ghost, animal, and even the 3 higher ones, we human being, God, demigods, higher ones, there is not an instant of absolute happiness. It doesn't mean we don't have happiness, we don't have joy, No, relax. We have, but it never lasts long. Just changing all the time. No? Look at the changes. Oh. Even you have something good, you have fear, I may lose this. If I don't do this, I may lose this. You have to work hard to secure. Like, for example, when you buy a car, nice car, what do you need to secure your car?
Insurance.
Car insurance, you see? Just say like that, you see. Otherwise, why you need car insurance? That means another suffering, First you buy the car, you pay, and then you have to pay again for the insurance. And insurance is also not total guarantee. If your car has some problem, insurance will raise more, because you face this is a problem. You see? This is samsara, Very deep samsara. Very profound samsara. Where there are some other places you see, they don't have much technologies. Their life is very simple. Their samsara is not so complicated. Okay. They may not have so much what we have, food, clothes. It's just that moment they look very poor, but not so complicated. If they get good enough lunch, they're happy. Now I got lunch, Here our samsara is more profound. Okay. So look at these things. So suffering is mentioned then, suffering of change, and suffering of a condition or the pervasive suffering. We went through that. Look at these. These four are very important as a foundation where we practice Dharma. Okay? Why we need to practice Dharma? Reflect Dharma. Look at the precious human life, how much opportunity you have, possibility you have. Like Milarepa, you have a possibility, opportunity to achieve enlightenment, even in a single lifetime. That's called precious human life. Okay? Then to have that, to really achieve that, then look at the impermanence. There's also another story of Milarepa. One day, Milarepa moved from one place to another. Now, what kind of wealth Milarepa has? Nothing, He had that moment, a pot where he cooks the nettle. You know nettle? Nettle, okay. He picks up nettle and cooks there and eat that. So here's that pot, clay pot. He took with him and he moved to another place. And the road is very rough, rocky, a lot of rocks on the road. So he stepped on the rock and he fell down. Once he fell down, his pot is broken. See? Now what we will say to ourselves, just imagine, I'm the most unlucky person, he will say, isn't it? In the first place, I don't have anything. And I have only one part is broken. Now what should I do? You cry, you worry, Now where I should cook the nettle. But for Milarepa, it was such an enlightening. He said, the part I just had is broken now. That becomes my root guru, root teacher. This symbolizes all phenomena that which is composite. Especially signifies this human life. I'm so grateful teaching this impermanence, this wisdom. See, because there's a sense of this part is my attachment. And he broke that attachment at that moment. And he took it as a teaching to destroy all the sense of the attachment. And he was so grateful, especially grateful and happy. So that kind of everything is sign of impermanence. Look at you, see. When you drive yourself, you look at the speed of the car. It shows the impermanence. It's just, going all this impermanence, speed. Aeroplane, look at in the air, is impermanence. At the airport, people just become so busy going out and in, and everybody becomes so busy. It's impermanence. And there, you just meditate to notice, may everybody have all the peace and happiness. May everybody free from the suffering. May they all achieve Buddhahood. Just meditate, you see. It's called training the mind. Now sometimes you may get sickness. Sometimes you may face obstacles. Anything can happen, That time you train your mind. Have you heard of mind training? This is mind training. All the teachings are mind training. That's my sickness that I have enough power, ability to purify all the sickness of the sentient beings. Instead of worrying, instead of just taking over all your attention, just utilize that. This obstacle that I'm facing may purify and dispel all the obstacles that every sentient beings are facing. You train your mind that way. So that will give you more space in the mind, more peace, more happiness. That's what it's called. Dharma is a joyous path. People think Dharma practice is very difficult, which they don't understand. That means they don't understand Dharma practice. When you know these things, how to practice Dharma, so it's joyful. In the midst of all the misfortune, this may take care of all the suffering of the sentient beings. So these are some important points to reflect. Okay, see, now yesterday, as mentioned, we went through all the ceremony by taking refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, which also we have to understand it incorporates the 5 precepts. Buddha said, don't harm other sentient beings. First, before you can help, but don't harm other sentient beings. including those you don't like. Don't harm the other life, because everyone, their life is precious. And after that, you see, don't take things from others which is not belong to you or not giving to you. And those who are married, not engage sexual misconduct. It's for peace. A lot of people, we have suffering on this, a lot of conflict on this. And then say, don't tell lie, and become trustworthy. If you keep telling lie, people will not trust you for your own benefit. If you always speak truth, everybody will trust you. And then not drink alcohols, as I mentioned before. So these are the 5 precepts. This is nothing to do with religion, just in the social community, in the world. Look at the problems in the society. What are they're talking about the problems, all about this harming others, corruptions. See, then next this aspiration bodhicitta. After taking the cultivated aspiration bodhicitta, then we never give up any sensual beings from the heart. That's why we have the prayer, as you know, here in this altruistic motivation. There, all mother sentient beings, especially see those enemies who hate me, obstacles who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and I will quickly establish them the state of the unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. So never give up anybody in 24 hours. Sometimes you may get fight, and it raises your anger. And you feel, I will never do any good things to this person. I will get rid of this person. At that moment, we have such kind of strong anger. But then just look at it. It doesn't do any good. It gives me suffering in my heart. For the antidote, to heal this my mind, the only way is I wish that person have all the peace and happiness. To just bring the remedy, bring this healing, heal yourself, meditate. Physically, I may not have to help this person, but mentally, I never give up anybody from my heart. You just meditate, reflect. So the meaning, you can read the jewel ornament of liberation, but there are there are 5 things. Then the practice of action bodhicitta. How to you say, first of all, by cultivating the aspiration bodhicitta means that I wish everybody achieve the complete Buddhahood. Even though we wish that, we have that mind, but also I will establish them, here mentioned, I will establish them in the Buddhahood, but I don't have that ability. So what I can do now, Now I practice the 6 parameters. I think roughly I mentioned yesterday. Practice of generosity. First one. Second one's morality. Third, patience. Fourth, perseverance. Fifth, meditative concentration, samadhi. The 6th is wisdom, awareness. When we practice these 6, it's called parameter, 6 perfection. When we practice this, then it will make our mind perfect and follow the path step by step towards the enlightenment. So this all are detailed, explained in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation. Please read that book. And as mentioned, the writer Kambupa was not something ordinary individuals, not something intellectual, but highly accomplished who attended Buddhahood. From that wisdom, compassion, compiled this book on the base on Atisha's Lamdun and the part of the lamp, on the base on that he wrote this. Okay. Now here, if you have any questions, not just I just talk. Yes.
So in this society, we are supposed to be responsible for ourselves.
Yes.
Right? And it's not tribal, not so much taking care of each other. So what about that struggle? It's more and more of a struggle for housing, to house yourself, to how can we have this release of attachment as a form of care, or how can we have this while we are so struggling? Any ideas about that?
Look at this. The country has a constitution. Okay. And they have, you see, Senate, Congress, you see, they are there for what? For the country, for the people.
So they say.
You see. So you are not alone. Yeah. But you have to work yourself. Take care of yourself. You see. I think basically, I don't know how many changes are taking place, but basically it's real well established to take care of the people. When you look carefully, you work hard, of course, you have to do that. Then there comes social security, how much you earn. And then there is other sources. You know those things, you see. Unlike many other countries, they don't have those things. So there are a lot of resources, but we don't take care. So something like we just sleep there and open the mouth and then just throw, If you don't get that, they don't take care. How I can survive? Don't just, say, in other words, just, there is with the mind of what they call contentment, See, if you got a bowl of, in the morning, a bowl of, say, some kind of soup, then you appreciate, see, I got this, and this is so good. It doesn't have to be so rich. It's enough to survive, and I'm so grateful about this. There's so many people who are dying without food. So we appreciate that. We should learn how to appreciate, how to content. Nagarjuna, his writing letter said, "Nonam kunjin nane choice ba rajo laba hamid the songs in Tibetan." He said, from the best of the wealth is the contentment, that which Buddha said. If you know how to content, then the contentment is the best wealth. Otherwise, I was talking, even one person on whole this planet, one person on this whole planet, now he's not satisfied with it. Now is there any other planet I can occupy? I'm not happy with this. I want little more. Have you heard of Genghis Khan?
Yes.
Genghis Khan.
Yes.
You see, I saw a short document film, maybe an hour. I watched that. And then he occupied whole Asia, and then he part of Europe, he occupied. At the end of his life, he said, "I'm not satisfied." You see? So you practice bodhicitta, make your mind clear. See? Reduce all this, as mentioned, the mental poisons, you see. Nobody nobody is responsible to take care of that, your mental poisons. Only you can do. Even the most powerful being come here in front of you cannot take that, So you just meditate on this. Develop some courage, you see. They are impermanent. The nature is emptiness. If I make it, it will happen. See, if you're being lazy, do nothing, then nothing will happen. Yes, Mr. Eric.
So
what's your point?
So you mentioned Genghis Khan about as not being satisfied, as always wanting to conquer more territory, and he's remembered as one of the greatest rulers ever. You think of great athletes, Michael Jordan and
Yes.
Tom Brady, they're not satisfied with their accomplishments. They want more, and because of this sort of not being satisfied and not being content, they're these people they're remembered as great humans.
Great example. Very successful life.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and you just mentioned about
there's can have misunderstanding. That means I don't do anything. I just stay. I appreciate. That's also wrong.
Okay.
You have to make it happen. You do everything what you can achieve. So Bodhisattva is great warrior. Okay. To attain Buddhahood is not easy thing. You have to have such great courage, intelligence, mental power to study, practice Dharma without satisfaction. Okay.
So how do you distinguish between studying Dharma without satisfaction and always striving for more.
Yes.
And also being content with life as it is.
Yes, that is, you see, that there comes, you have to have such discriminating wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that Dharma practice is nothing but only cause for peace and happiness.
Yeah.
Okay, it will bring nothing but only peace and happiness. For that reason, I go forward until I achieve the ultimate state. Where at the other side, all these mental afflictions, more I engage in that, more suffering comes, more if I develop courage to develop more attachment, more anger, it's more suffering come there, So therefore, you need such great discriminating wisdom and to demolish, as mentioned, obliterate all the cause of the suffering and build complete the dimension of the enlightenment. Okay.
Thank you.
So what you just said, can we apply to life? Which means if I'm a person who's
Yeah.
content with my current life and appreciate how
Yes.
it comes.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I want more.
Yes.
With loving kindness,
Yes.
want more, not only for myself,
Yes.
for all the essential human beings.
That's right.
This drive of wanting more only bring me happiness. Is that okay? Like
That's okay.
that's okay to
That's-
want more.
Yes.
Because
I want more loving kindness.
Yes.
I want more compassion.
and
I-
give
yeah.
it more people,
Yeah,
helping more people.
I want more bodhicitta,
Yeah.
greater bodhicitta.
Yeah.
That's,
So that's
that's the
if
okay.
that only creates you happiness
Yes.
or like compassion,
Yes,
that's okay. You want
that's
more.
okay.
Okay.
Buddha, who attained Buddhahood, he did in his life 45 years what he could. He couldn't make whole India a Buddhist country.
Mm.
You see, but he did what he could. Diligently for 45 years he made effort. And from then, as I mentioned, how much he brought peace and happiness in the world. See? Okay, now, make sense? Yes.
Rinpoche, I have a question that's been bothering me since I stopped practicing Dharma. I want to hear your thought about organ donation after people pass. We listened to you tell the story about the kings
Mhm.
sacrifice the flesh
Yeah.
when the situation arises. But I also heard about teachers talking about once you pass and then you want to remain stable for a couple of days, and then so it will help you to have a smooth transition into the bottle. But once you pass, once you have the last breath, your body is just your body. So that's my thought about having myself to donate my organs to help people. Just want to know, like, what's your thought on that?
Giving organ donations, so much depends on the individual. That requires, first of all, the practice of emptiness, as I mentioned. It's just I mentioned interdependent, When you see, it's nothing but illusory nature. And then you see, it's just a manifestation. See, if you read the life story of the great masters in the past, you can understand. So if you have highly accomplished your practice of the emptiness, it's called Mahamudra, you know. Oh, nothing but manifestation. If somebody hits you here, you know, and somebody just apply such a, you know, kind of massage, you know, for that individual doesn't make any difference. Has such great realization. So those individuals then can make the donation of the organ. And there's no fear. And those who are beginner, like myself, even somebody just pinches ice cream, you know, I cannot tolerate this pain, you know. I will scream, you know. So it's difficult to make the organ donation, you know. So you have to judge yourself. There's a story. A great practitioner, as mentioned, such a great practitioner, highly accomplished the practice of the Mahamudra. Highly. And then he has a friend. They are in the retreat, way in the forest. One day, a thief, who's such a famous thief, you know, is chasing by the police of the country. He's running, you know, in the forest, and the police are coming after him. And he met this practitioner, those two retreatants, and he requested, please, there's some police coming after me, chasing. Please don't tell that I went this way, you know. If you tell that, they will chase and they will catch me and they will persecute me, you know. So please don't tell that. Please don't tell police that I went this way. Now the other friend said to this highly accomplished that master, now, friend, he said, friend, we have a dilemma. If you don't say, no, if you don't say that person is run away, we are telling a lie, because the person went. If we tell them the person ran away, then he will catch and will have problem, you know. Then that great master said, oh, yes, I understand. But we have to sacrifice ourselves. He said. Then, of course, soon after that, the police came. Then those great practitioners in the forest, the police asked, has anybody went here or gone here? And he said, this great master said, even I don't see myself, how I can see anybody went through this, you know. And then police, anyway, they just went because they know this person went that direction. And then they caught the thief. And then the police said, these who in the retreat, supposed to be they don't tell lie, but they are liars. The police caught them and took the court and then punished them. The king was watching. The king was watching. And after punishing, really severe punishment, the great master said, us to the king. I think the king said, how you feel? How's going on with you? And the great master said, Who's the king? He said. Where's your king? Where is the king? Is your head is king? Your arms are king? Your chest is king? Where's the king? The king says, oh, he understood, you know. So this is not a simple person. So he said, as you don't find as you king, I don't have a pen. Even this punishment, severe punishment. So the king was highly respected. He's not an ordinary person. Highly accomplished master. So like that you see. So Dharma practice can make like that individual. That's why Dharma is so precious. Okay. Now should we make a break for lunch? Yeah, first please relax yourself on your seat, on your cushion, and then reflect this morning what we went through. So I tried to brought up some informations. You reflect on these things before we forget. If you find they are helpful, useful, and appreciate this Buddha's teaching, Buddha taught. I'm so fortunate to follow Buddha's step. And I will study more and practice more further. Dharma is the most precious for everybody. Dharma has no discrimination. As we say prayers, all Mother Session beings. We don't say all Buddhist or all human beings, but we say all sentient beings, including those small insects, everyone, those who have consciousness, that everyone desire for peace and happiness. Everyone desire to free from suffering. And Buddha touched all those sentient beings. So we just develop that kind of mind and bring that thought in your heart. Meditate. So I'm so fortunate. Appreciate yourself. Always, in the midst of the delusions, there's still some light there. When you have the Dharma, there's some light, even it's so dark. So appreciate that. Meditate. With this mind, do this dedication by Bodhichitta Sungun. Dedication prayer by Lord Chitta Sungun, we say this. Have you heard a book called Diamond Rosary? Diamond Rosary, our center may have that book. If you want to know more this explanation, I made some commentaries on that in the book. It's a commentary all about wonderful practices, refuge, Vajrasattva, Mandala, Guru Yoga, Bodhichitta, so opening prayers and conclusion, this dedication prayers. All I made short explanation, commentary. Okay?
What is the name of the book?
Diamond Rosary. Yeah. Okay. So we say this prayer with a contemplative mind, very joyfully, feeling of very fortunate, glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind, root in lineage line, divine assemblies of Yagamis and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, yoginis, and yoginis, dwelling the 10 directions. Please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself, all sentient beings, and suffering in mind, many fruit of virtue, not result in the equal concern, the 4 classes of samsara, or regard the samsara. May all my sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstruct this mind, mislead Mars and the hordes of demons, experience happiness, separate from suffering, and simply attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious liberty. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings in my body and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May enhancement to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, concern to this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and Bodhichitta. And through that may I become a spiritual master of good qualities equal to the infinite of space. May I gain supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such, and the pervading clarity of Dharma. May I in any case gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo. Thank you, everybody. Have a good break.
Recording stopped.
Eleanor.
Thank you.